Welcome to the Mastering the Game podcast. I'm Unleashed Pro. The goal of this podcast is to discuss all things gaming. Whether it's a recent release or an old favorite, I hope to discuss a game that you enjoy. So let's start off by discussing my background as a gamer. Some of my earliest memories involve me playing Pokemon on my Game Boy. I can't even begin to tell you how many hundreds of hours I've spent in my life playing Pokemon. Whether it was Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Red, Crystal, Leaf Green, Emerald, and even Pokemon Diamond and a couple ones after that. I've spent so much time invested in that franchise, and I'm really glad that I've had the opportunity to really enjoy a franchise like that, because you're able to see how things change over time. And the underlying idea of the game is pretty much the same, but I like that they've been working toward adding some new features in with each generation, so you get to see some sort of development. But I think that the heart of the franchise is still there, which is really great. Y'all let me know if y'all also grew up watching the cartoons on I used to watch it on WB Kids. I don't know if that's still a thing anymore. I doubt that it is, but I used to watch a lot of that Pokemon on WB Kids, same as Yu-Gi-Oh! And speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh!, that's another one of those franchises that I grew up playing a lot of. I think I usually play more of the card game version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rather than the video game, which obviously it's all the same sort of stuff. But I definitely play more of the card games. I believe it was one of my friends at school that really introduced me to Yu-Gi-Oh! I just saw him playing it, or he brought his cards to school one time and showed me what he had. So that was pretty cool. And I realized that, hey, Mom, you get me some of these cards? And she started to get that stuff for me. So that was pretty cool. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! I think are two of the most popular franchises, definitely in my generation. I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still as impactful as it used to be, but I'm pretty sure Pokemon is still as strong as ever, if not stronger than it was when I was growing up, if that's even possible. But as I got older, naturally I would start to play a wider variety of games. So kind of expanded from just Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh's to playing a little bit of sports games. I play a little bit of Madden, and I also played some first-person shooter games, third-person games, shooter games as well. Call of Duty was a big thing. Whenever I started middle school, Call of Duty 4 had just come out, so that was something I spent a lot of years playing. Call of Duty 4, 5, up through I think Modern Warfare 3 was the last one that I really played a lot of, but Modern Warfare 2 was the game. I remember I was a freshman in high school when that came out, and I spent so much time playing that before school, a little bit, mostly after school is when I spent so much time with friends playing all kinds of Modern Warfare 2 on my Xbox 360, on my PS3. I think I want to say I had 2 profiles on my PS3, and I played a little bit on both of them, but I definitely played on both consoles. So I spent a lot of time playing Modern Warfare 2 growing up. And it's really funny whenever I think about how much time I've spent playing video games, particularly in high school. I always wonder how I did so well in school, given I know that I had a lot of other extracurricular activities I was in, mainly band. I was in that so much. That takes a lot of time. But how did I do so well in school but still play so many video games? So that was really I'm really glad that that went pretty well. So it's just nice to be able to think back on how things were kind of when I was growing up, where I was able to see things shift from the PlayStation era to the PlayStation 2 era to the PS3 era, and now we're here. And it's just nice to know that we are getting to a place where video games can be even more immersive. And I haven't really done like virtual reality stuff. I don't know if I've really played one of those before myself, but I think that it will be cool to make that more of a common thing, or more of a like an easier like I really, like I said, more of a common thing, because it'll be cool to really like act like I was really in some like Assassin's Creed, for example. Like obviously I don't want to start, trying to do parkour off of some crazy buildings or whatever. Like I don't want to do that in real life, but it would be cool to be able to sort of simulate that physically, kind of, but not, need to actually leave my actual room to do any of that. Plus, I think it'll be a pretty good workout. So if they could like figure out a way to make it a workout basically, but also do some progression in the game, that would be pretty cool. I mean, and granted, that may already exist now, and I haven't really looked into it too much, but I'm really looking forward to what gaming is going to look like, even 5 or 6 years from now. Because just looking at the past 20 or so years, where I've really been, a gamer, really a little bit longer than that, but the past 20 or so years are when I can remember a lot of gaming related stuff. And it's just really cool to see how things have progressed. Again, so with this podcast, I want to keep things pretty light. I may some episodes I may talk a little bit about a recent game that came out, or talk about some games that I started playing recently. And what I'd like to do is also invite you to drop us a comment if you're listening to this on YouTube, or if you're not, feel free to go to my YouTube channel, which is Unleashed Pro Plays. That's my main one. So go to that channel and subscribe if you want, and go to our latest videos, check that stuff out, and feel free to drop a comment and let us know if you're playing anything fun right now, or if there's any game that you recommend that I try out. I'll be happy to to give it a shot. I tend to play games that are like action adventure, so something like Assassin's Creed, something like Hitman. Really, I'm not really like a horror fan, so that's pretty much the main genre that I really wouldn't get into personally. But pretty much everything else I'm open to. So feel free just to, in the comment section, let me know what you're playing and if you think it's worth me giving it a shot. So again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in for this episode, and I'll talk to y'all in the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, consider leaving a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast service. And also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Unleashed Pro Plays, where you can watch our latest gaming videos.